You are listening to the BU Podcast with Michael Arrington. We discuss social justice, childhood trauma, current events, hip-hop, and so much more. Now, here's your host, Michael Arrington.
So yeah, man, what's up, y'all? It's your man, Michael Arrington, man. I'm here with the BU show, the inaugural show. Get into my monologue, man. Talk about resilience. Resilience is a very, very important component to being successful. You know what I'm saying? So what is resilience, though? Resilience is the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties or mental toughness, right? So you think about your life right now at this moment. You worried about finances, you worried about family, social life, how you look, how people see you, relationships, whatever. Remember this, though. You got to have the will to do it. What's the difference between you and someone successful? And that's the will to do it. You have to believe. You have to believe you deserve it. You got to believe you can achieve it. The belief, you will receive it. What you believe you can achieve. It starts with the belief, then a plan, and then the will to do it. Don't stop until you get it. You are special. You are great. And also, remember this. Sometimes God's no is not a rejection, but it's a redirection. You have to know you are great. But it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you a lot of tears, a lot of sweat, loss of friends, maybe even family. But when you achieve them dreams, it'll be well worth it. That's right. Resilience. All right, let's get into it. I got my man, the legendary Myka9 from the legendary group Freestyle Fellowship. We're going to get into some topics, man. Really just kind of have a real in-depth conversation about music, life, success, failures, childhood trauma, LA in the 80s and 90s. We're going to get into it, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Buckle up. It's going to be a ride.
You are listening to the BU Podcast with Michael Arrington.
Back, man. We on the BU Podcast, man. I got my man, one of my favorite people on the planet, man. My guy, the legendary, from the legendary crew, Freestyle Fellowship. How do they call all that, man? My man, Myka9. He's in the building, man. What's good with you, my guy?
It's all love. Just put me a little meal
man.
in the oven. Wrote some songs. Feeling good. Ready to record. Waiting for one of my bros to come through so we can fire something down and catch up because we did a project. Shout out Will Blast. We did a project which is like a mixtape that's called Soothing Smoothies with all my smooth stuff. And he's been doing NFTs and all kind of stuff. And so, I've been on pause for a few weeks behind that COVID. So now I'm tested negative a couple times. I'm opening everything up. So, I can catch up with my cats and do things like this. So I'm waiting for him to come through. But no, I wrote some tunes and I'm ready to pretty much track them all out and knock them out. I know people have been waiting for a while. They've been real patient with me. So that's pretty much today's agenda. I haven't smoked any herb in a while, so I'm looking forward to that.
All right, yeah, man. I just want to get into it right quick, man. I had a couple questions, man, I wanted to ask you, man. First of all, man, I've been a big fan of yours, man, since before Inner City Riots. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to uplift you, man, give you your flowers, man. For me, you are the John Coltrane of LA hip hop, bro. You're innovator, visionary, man.
Hold on, man. You know you're a dangerous
right
man on the business end of that microphone. I'll take a rose or two, but you are no slouch, bro.
Oh, you know.
You acting like you're not Michael Myers, though. Like, what's all that about? You in interview mode or something? Like,
no, I'm just, I'm giving you your flowers, man.
Exchange roses. It's a good rose exchange right here, man. Shit. Rose Bowl in this motherfucker.
Nah, man, you are an architect, man, a visionary, dog. Like for real. When I think about when I got into this hip hop thing, man, I was just about to graduate high school, man. We talking 92, 93, and you was already setting it down. And you and Ace, Self-Juke, my man Peace, y'all was like, for me, y'all were superheroes of me. You know what I mean? And so to be able to sit in this room, man, and holler at you now, man, and kind of just, pick your brain, man, is an honor and a privilege, man. So I wanted to start it off with that, man. But what inspired you as an artist in the beginning, man? Take me back to 1982, young Mike. What was you thinking about? What was you
81, 82? That was crazy because I knew I could sing a little bit because I would sing in church. And since I was young, my mom, she put me on the soapbox to make me sing these old Negro spirituals and gospels and stuff. Her and my dad, rest in peace, they were into music and played instruments, jazz and stuff. And but by the time I got into sixth grade, they started the mandatory busing. And I always sat in the back of the bus because I like to bag and, talk a lot of shit, whatever, and just entertain myself. I was supposed to go to Hillcrest that year because I'd already been going to Hillcrest, but then I got bused to an elementary school called Walgrove out in Venice. So it was enough time, to ride, listen to the radio and, get caught up in traffic and whatnot. So I guess I started rapping and doing these little short, like 8-bar, 16-bar kind of like funny raps, bag raps, just to entertain people, And I realized I had a knack at that because my mom, rest in peace, my Duke, she used to make everything a song to kind of get me to do my chores or just anything, and she was real good at rhyming and words and melodies. And so I guess I picked it up from her in the sense of I'm doing these funny little raps. And then every day I would think of a new one. And after a while, however, people would be like, well, say the one you said yesterday or say the one you said last Thursday. And so I started memorizing them. And so at one point, I'm riding and I'm doing like 2-3 weeks worth of raps and pretty much entertaining the back of the bus. Then after a while, the bus driver would turn down the radio and I'm entertaining the whole little school bus. Mind you, it was not the short bus. I'm not shaming nobody, but, I'm entertaining the whole bus. By then, people are beating for me, making little beats and stuff, beating on the chairs, beating on the walls. And so I was known for that. And that kind of got me into it. Then going to Audubon Junior High School, I noticed kids were getting circles and kind of re-recite. Hello? We still here?
Yeah, I got you.
Still here? Yeah, I noticed when I started going to Audubon, I go to school, go play basketball and stuff. And then I see a cipher and they're like re-reciting Dolomite or re-reciting, Blowfly or Richard Pryor or little jokes like that. Right. I would go in there and start saying some of them same raps I used to say the year before in elementary, and then I'd start making them new ones and have a rap or two while we waiting to play ball, when they say like you got next or whatever, you got to wait till the game's over. So I would do that, start rapping about in school and stuff and Martin Luther King Day and always, rocking little talent shows in junior high and high school and stuff. But early on, of course, the good songs that came out, because, I like Fatback. I like, looking for that good stuff, tighten up on your backstroke. But on the flip side of that, they had a rapper on it. His name was King Tim III.
Right.
And so I hear that, Fatback, don't you hesitate. And, around that time you start hearing Sugar Hill and hearing all the early raps, Blowfly and, Rap Dirty. I remember ditching school one day, and this was like in the 5th grade, I think, or 6th grade. This kid took me to his house and said, my mama won't let me play this record, playing Blowfly, Rap Dirty.
Right.
And then, just so that era, I remember that summer falling in love with Sugar Hill and all the other rappers out there by the end that were doing their thing. And I was blessed enough to be exposed to a lot of early hip hop. Older dudes on my block were already getting into DJing and breakdancing and stuff way before b-boying and hip hop formally came to LA. So
right.
I thought I could DJ a little bit. I thought I could write, and I thought I could breakdance and rap. But slowly but surely through the years, it consolidated to what I thought I was best at, which was the rap thing. But yeah, early on, just wanting to do it and knowing that I'm going to be a rapper and MC, that came on the tail end of junior high school, rolling into another busing thing that I did when I went to high school. I got bused to Birmingham High.
Oh, word. Okay.
And my first rap handle was MMC. Very original, right?
Right.
That only lasted maybe about a month, 2 months. And then I changed it to Microphone Mike. And I walk around with my rhyme book and, write some rhymes in calligraphy or whatever, trying to make them like old Dead Sea Scrolls and shit, burn the edges of it, make it look aged. And, you treated your rhymes like precious hymns.
Right.
And so, Microphone Mike was definitely the handle on through the 80s. Then when the 90s came around, I changed it to Myka9. And there was a little short transition period from Microphone Mike to Michael Troy 9, Mike Hakim, trying to figure it out. And to this day, people still spell my name different ways, but I'm hoping by now I'm established enough to where they know who the person is and who they're talking about. But yeah, I knew I was going to be a rapper for a good long time, but then I'd say by the 9th, 10th grade, I was all in, circa 83, 84, something like that. I was all in, by then I'm with my homie Pun and shout out Punish and shout out AC Alone, Teaspoon Iodine, my first group, MC Aces. We would go to the laundromat, beat on the walls and stuff and record our raps with 2 boom boxes. And what happens is that this is before I'm doing formal demos. The 2 boom boxes, you would record back and forth.
Right.
But then it would get faster and faster. But Spoon knew how to turn down the wattage in the back of the boom box to where it would slow down when you record, so you didn't get that chipmunk effect. Right. Even though our voices were still young and squeaky.
Right.
Some of my first demos I did was with DJ Punish and Play-Doh. I'd say 13, 14 years old, and we didn't have a microphone, so we would plug the headphones into the mic jack and rap into one of the earpieces, and that worked like the microphone. And
I know it all.
I'm rapping over his Mama Jazz records. I'm rapping over ska records and rapping over, electro records, Kraftwerk, doing numbers, rapping over Tour de France and Johnson Crew. And then later getting more hip hop instrumentals together, or we would rap over pause mixes and those loops. But by the time I was maybe about, 14, 15, that was when we were getting like them LL singles and getting, Tears for Fears. And I'm rapping on the back of the Shout. But when LL first released I Need a Beat, I was able to, rock that instrumental and stuff. And by then I'm getting more into my b-boying and battling and wearing Kangos and BVDs with the permanent crease and belt buckles and putting all kind of plastic bags or bags in my hat so my hat would stay poofy, and rolling my socks up so my Adidas would be fat and poofy. And, you couldn't run or nothing. So if I'm writing on the walls, I used to write Omni, OMNI, and I used to hang out at the Radiotron in them days with undercover artists and Second to None and Kill to Succeed and a lot of other crews. And so if you had a vigilante or somebody that's like, well, you're writing on the walls, it's hard to run in fat straps.
Right.
Sure. You got all these cans in the backpack. So, there were hazards to b-boy reality.
No doubt.
Whereas, with a microphone or without a microphone, you could just be on the bus or something, battle somebody. You can make a little money too. Me and AC used to do these mock battles on Hollywood Boulevard and Highland and put our Kangos down and act like we didn't know each other for the whole little thing, or do it in Venice Beach.
Right. I remember
time to walk. The Walkman come around. Next thing you know, we trying to sell our little tapes and stuff. And, hey, you look like you're into hip hop, and just put the headphones on their ear.
Right.
Sell them for $5 and stuff, or do the little mock battles or sneaking in the clubs. I remember we snuck into the theater when they showed Crush Groove, and before the show started, the movie, we went all the way up to the front of the crowd to start beatboxing and rapping. They thought it was all part of the act, to the point where the people weren't mad that we snuck in the theater and asked us to keep doing it. So we kept doing it. Every time they would show it, we'd go back, go get something, come back. Oh, it's another showing. Go out there and rap. They give us like $50 or something.
Oh, that's dope.
Just had a knack for it, man. Had a knack, for this rapping thing. And along with the other homies and crew, we all kept each other going and taking it to another level where we would start doing our freestyle drills and learning how to beat and rhyme at the same time, keeping the same subject matter, the same pattern, and not falling off. And those are kind of the things that not only got me started and interested into it, but those early years perpetuated me continuing. I just came up for a minute to get a little sunshine. It's so sunny. I'm in LA. Where you at?
I'm in Rialto, man. I'm out in the sticks.
I love Rialto. Shout out Rick Rock out there. Rialto.
Yeah, so going back in the day, man, I remember when I first